The Milan 2026 Olympics are in full swing, which means it's time for my favorite Olympic tradition, sitting on my couch and judging world-class athletes as if I don't need someone to hold my feet while I do sit-ups. So today I'm looking at which Olympic winter sports I think I could do and which ones would kill me immediately. Last week I covered all of the snow and ski sports, and this time we're doing the ice sports. Starting off with a delusional amount of confidence and a sport I constantly underestimate, up first is curling. When I watch this on TV, it looks like something I could pick up tomorrow if I wanted to, but once I actually looked into the details, I have to admit my confidence was shaken. For me, there are two main concerns: the ice and the weight. I'm honestly not sure I could even successfully get onto the sheet because my walking on ice skills straight up don't exist. And forget about having to gracefully slide down the lane without falling directly on top of the stone I'm trying to help move. Also, the stones are 20 kilos. I buy my dog 20-kilo bags of dog food, and I can barely get that home in a wheeled suitcase. Much less confidently launch the same amount of weight down an icy lane. I'm not sure this sport would kill me, but I'd have a pretty good chance of cracking my head open on the ice, and an even better chance of getting kicked off the team for actively making things worse. Another sport that I have a lot of unearned confidence for is bobsledding. Despite having watched Cool Runnings many times and also fully knowing how dangerous a bobsled crash can be, I think my success in this sport would heavily depend on how many other people are in the sled, and more importantly, whether someone else is driving. Future me stepping in to say that I actually need to change my answer. I recorded this about a week ago, and in the week since, I saw a video of the US bobsled mishap that happened at the World Cup, which was just a couple weeks before the Olympics. Basically, what happened is that 3 out of the 4 men on the US bobsled team did not make it into the bobsled before it started running the course, so the driver had to run the course alone in the bobsled. Luckily, everyone was completely fine, but it really showed me how difficult it is to even make it in the bobsled in the first place. So I need to change my answer to I would not make it down a course in bobsled. I would either be left at the top or just crash somewhere along the way. Similar to a bobsled, but seemingly a whole lot more dangerous, we have luge. I don't know who thought going 80 miles an hour completely unprotected on a tiny sled with no brakes was a good idea, but the real crazy thinker was whoever decided that adding a second person lying on top for doubles luge was a good improvement. As funny as it looks, I think I might actually survive doubles, but only if I'm the bottom. And by that, I mean the person on the bottom of the luge sled, which from the pictures, I guess would actually be the top for some other activities. Not only does the top have to steer, but I also don't think they're tied on in any way. So if I didn't go flying off the sled the moment it picked up speed, or I guess the other person in this case, then I would definitely end up launching us right off the track instead. And well, for singles, it would probably look like I'm trying to compete on a half pipe using a sled. If you didn't think it could get worse and more dangerous than luge, you would be incredibly mistaken. Because somewhere along the way, someone looked at luge and thought, this isn't terrifying enough, and decided to send people down the track headfirst instead. Weirdly, I think steering in this position might actually be a little easier for me, but I should probably start the run wearing a neck brace, so I'm already prepared for the ambulance ride when I miss a turn and crash into the wall headfirst. Unfortunately, when moving on to the skating sports, I don't think my chances of success get any better. I've been on ice skates a few times in my life, and although it's super fun, I do look like a baby lamb trying to walk for the first time, except also on ice. For ice hockey, my best bet would probably be as an equipment manager or a bench warmer, as the moment I get on the ice, I'm going to end up on the ground. If I don't fall immediately from tripping over my own skates, I have about 3 seconds before I end up in the wrong spot and get absolutely decked by another player. The good news is that my torment for this one would be very short, since after about a minute of game time, my poor performance would send me right back to the bench or the hospital. Similar to ice hockey, but just minimally better due to being able to pick the difficulty of my routine, is figure skating. I'm not a good dancer on regular flooring, so if you add ice into the mix, it's not going to be pretty. Pairs or doubles might actually be better for this one as well, because I would have a partner who I could quite literally lean on for support. We would have to design a routine where I just got pulled along, kind of like a human sled, since the moment my partner let go, it would no longer be pretty. I would probably call it a good day if I don't end up concussed or bleeding by the end of the routine. As far as skating sports go, I do think they'll get better, or at least a little safer, once the focus becomes purely about speed. I would no doubt be the slowest person on the track and probably take about 4 to 6 weeks to finish the race, but as long as I keep my extremities in my own lane when I inevitably fall, at least I'll be able to finish with all of my fingers and no trips to the hospital. However, it will get a little dicey when it comes to the lane switching aspect. Because I'll be so far behind, I might end up getting run over every time I get lapped. Out of all of the skating sports, I think short track speed skating is actually my best bet. Not only do I get to avoid the tricks required for figure skating and the other people involved in hockey, but I also get to choose where I am on the track. So as long as I stay close to the outside edge, I don't think I'll accidentally cause a pileup or, more importantly, get my fingers cut off when I fall. Also, solely because the distance is shorter, it's less time on my feet and less time for things to go horribly wrong. Genuinely good luck to everyone competing in the upcoming events. It's truly incredible to watch. And for anyone who's still watching this video, thank you so much. If you'd like to stick around to see what I get up to, since I'm obviously not going to be going to the Olympics, I'd love to have you here.